hero comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Good morning. Maybe a little too much. Yeah. Oh. Sorry, I don't have my. I mean, there's plenty to say, but does it apply? And today I think I'm just gonna kind of try and stay on track. Be nice if it shared it. Thank you. Still got a couple more to go here. This is my list for today. Well, for this morning. Well, no, pretty much today. It's a lot of stuff. It's just 4 things, but it's everything has all of it connects, and none of it is the same. All right, I've got an interview today. I got to speak with the director of East Metro Detox, which I think is going to be a little more scary than the other one. Working on a community meeting center for our AA meetings here in Adams County. Yeah, Adams County might give us a meeting space. Oh, cool. Good morning, Amber. Yo. Do you get to work by 9? Is that when it is? Because I've been getting up kind of early, and I'm willing to do this at like 8:30 if it's a better time. It just sucks when I strike out on these things. I'll still do them, but they're just not as fun, man. So, and I like the attention. So, oh, so, man, I thought I was being pretty humorous. All right, let's get this party started. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. Yeah, but you found the local elf. I saw that. That was funny. That was so cute. If you're here, please say hello, whether watching the live or the rewatch. Yet nobody that is going to get in trouble watches this shit. So I'm talking with a reporter from Colorado Public Radio today, which is part of NPR. It's kind of scary. I don't know what I want to talk about yet. But it has to do with the sober livings and stuff going on with it. Then I have to talk to my old boss who didn't treat me right and try and make things correct. It's going to be a little bit of confrontation there. But we got to advocate. Yeah, I think that and that's stuff that the police should do. The only reason I don't like cops is when I'm doing something wrong. It's the only time I don't like cops. So, a heads up, chat may or may not work. Restream's been real iffy lately. I've been using it because it's 3 months. And that's cool. Then you show up and it's something good. It's a positive experience. That's exactly it. Except for the sheriff of Adams County. If you don't know his name, it doesn't matter. I think the police here are pretty good. So, and good for you, man. I think that's really neat. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be in the 12 by 12. We're going to start on page 63. We're going to read step 6. So let's go ahead and get started. And that's not it. Then I still have to do my business stuff and get the community meeting center together, because I have two places that are willing to give us space for free. Although we're going to be paying. I'm thinking like 5%, 10%, whatever, right? Whatever the standard is. So, but that'll help us get OA and NA, because I've been saying, hey, let's get these people in their lanes. Well, then let's provide them that. Let's work on it and provide it so that it's there for people and things, right? Yeah. Okay. And then, so I'm starting my business. It's kind of slow and all that is. Hi, Bren. Good morning. It is good to see you. All the business really is just I don't even know what to fucking call myself. I do not like what I've come up with. So what did I come up with? Oh, the last one. A life solution mentor. I don't know. A solution-oriented mentor. But it's just a 1-hour shot. No, it's not. We're not going to sit down and work out your problems. It's just a one-shotter where you get to talk to Dion for an hour and we're going to figure out solutions for you. Maybe it's your passion. Maybe it's one problem. We need to work through it. Maybe you need to know how to get your driver's license back. I'll help you with that. Maybe, I've just got all this information. If I cannot help, I ain't going to charge it. But it's a sliding fee scale. The lowest is 40. The most I'll take is 100. It's just a sliding fee scale, right? So, number 2, you like the second one better? A solution-oriented mentor. I think that, it describes... See, the name has got to describe what I do, because I'm not a recovery coach. I'm not a peer support specialist. I'm not a CAC. I'm not a CAS. I will not put any of those things after my name, even though I am all of them. So, but thank you for that. I appreciate it. I always like it when people say, yeah, I like that. I prefer that one. So anyway, if somebody comes up with a different one, send it to me. Half the shit I put in Chat GPT and I let it do the words for me. I don't write that well. All right, let's get started. We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. All right, before I get started, and this is about step 6. We're getting to it now. Okay, the key word here, not the principle. The principle is willingness. Okay. Isn't it? Let's go check on it. I want to double check that. I'm pretty sure it's willingness, though. Where are all my stuff? Screw it. We're going to be talking about perfection. I know, we're like, no, perfection is bad. Perfection is bad. No, it's not. No, it's not. Perfection's perfect. It's utopian. It's the thing. Here's the key. I'm going to strive for perfection, knowing I'm not going to reach it. The goal is not to reach perfection. The goal is to do our best to get to it. That's the action in our lives. How we do that? We go to meetings. We help other people. We take our kid to go find Skippy the elf in the morning. I'm not kidding. These are all things that apply to life that are a positive thing. Okay? To understand that God's world is perfect the way it is. Now, what does that do? It relieves me from control and power and thinking I'm God. So there's a couple of things to that perfection. Okay? What I say is the day I'm perfect, I'm dead. I'm out of here. Then I'll be perfect again. Okay? Because what am I? I'm not a human being with a soul. I am a soul who's experienced a human thing. That's the way I see it. All right. And step 6 is extremely important, so much that people like to write books about it. But we don't need more books about it. Okay? Drop the Rock is not AA approved for very good reasons. So just drop the rock. There you go. You don't need more than that. We got to keep things simple. It's got to stay simple. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad book, but it is a self-help book. And the thing is you can't help yourself if you don't know how, right? The original, this is what it was going to be, was you can't be yourself till you find yourself. But I was like, I don't have enough brain power yet to do that one. So we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. Where do we find our defects of character? Found them in the 4th and 5th step. Or from our significant others. That's just an AA joke. The joke is, you want to know your character defects? Go ask your spouse. They'll be too happy to tell you, don't do that. All right. This is the step that separates the men from the boys or the girls from the women. How about this step separates the children from the adults, even though we're still children at heart. Okay. So declares a well-loved clergyman who happens to be one of AA's greatest friends. He goes on to explain that any person capable of enough willingness and honesty to try repeatedly step 6 on all of his faults without any reservations whatever has indeed come a long way spiritual, is therefore entitled. Yes, entitled. What does that mean? It means you earned it. You earned it. To be called a man or woman who is sincerely trying to grow in the image and likeness of his own creator. And what is the creator? The creator is your higher power, and they are what? Perfect. That's what it said. Yeah. Right. It's okay. It's okay. Because what happens? Well, I'm going to fail. Often. I'm going to be wrong. Often. Yay! Why do I cheer at that? Because then I'm learning. Hey, Slayer, what the fuck do you have all over you, dude? Of course, the often disputed question of whether God can and will, under certain conditions, remove defects of characters will be answered with a prominent affirmative by almost AA member. To him, this proposition will be no theory at all. It will just about be the largest fact in his life. He will usually offer his proof like in a statement like this. Okay, now here's the thing. I agree with this, but I don't totally agree with it. I still get angry. Well, then it hasn't been removed, has it? I still get depressed. I still get sad. I still get happy. That's not what they're going after here. It's our reaction to life. It's the action from that we decide to put into our life. Do I get angry? Yes. Do I go out and beat people up anymore? Well, I didn't really before, but I would do everything to destroy your life. If you were on my shit list, my day was spent doing things to you so you didn't know it was me and making your life worse. Now I apply that. I'm having a meeting with CPR today to report. So what did I do? Well, I took my anger and I put it towards something useful. And it was really hard to do. I'll let you know that. It was really hard. And people are like, you're just, this is a resentment. I'm like, no, and I'll be honest with people. It's 10% revenge. Yes, it is. To deny that would be unhuman. Unhuman. My phone's kind of going off, and I just want to make sure it's not passed around. Oh, my friend Ingrid, it says she's on here all the time, so she'll buy it. She says, I'm in a meeting and it has a different Dion. Okay, do not take this as racial or anything else, okay? But I doubt they're white. They're not white. I have never met another white Dion with my name except the man I was named after, and I never met him. So a lot of people think I'm black. So I don't care. I've gotten it a lot, though. I did a lot of phone sales. I also trained over the phone, and we get together for our sales meetings once a year, and they'd be like, so funny. All right. Doesn't matter. I have another story, but let's get to this. Sure, I was beaten. Absolutely licked. My own willpower just wouldn't work on alcohol. And this is weird because we have willpower for other things. I do. I got willpower I have a lot of willpower, except when it came to alcohol. So this was a decision that I made, knowing I had willpower over other things. Knowing. I gave him up anyway. I gave it to God anyway. It did not matter. The problem, the problem is I was the problem. And since I'm the problem, well, fuck. I'm not a face purple crying. Oh, I'm not. Oh, black. Only from the waist up. Only from the waist up. That's my running joke on that. I'm Chinese from the waist down. That's what I tell people all the time. So they'll just leave me the fuck alone. I'm like, if we're gonna make a joke out of it, I can keep going. But the key, do you see what I do? See, when people try and make fun of me, I will make fun of me first. You lost all your power. That's what I do to bullies. You're not doing that now, Brad, by the way. But I do that with bullies. Well, let me finish that for you. I'm pretty fucking crazy, dude. Yeah, you're right. Oh, I'm nuts. I'm so fucking nuts. Yeah, I will keep. Anyway, doesn't it? So, even though I have willpower for all these other things, all right. My own willpower just wouldn't work on alcohol. Change of scene, the best of efforts of family, friends, doctors, and clergymen got no place with my alcoholism. I simply could not stop drinking, and no human being could seem to be able to do the job for me. But when I became willing to clean house and then asked a higher power, God as I understood him, to give me release, my obsession to drink vanished. It was lifted right out of me. Okay. People have been asking about the miracle and what the miracle is, and I believe that's the miracle. Right? I'm not going to get too much into that because Lucas and I are going to be talking about that on Sunday on a podcast this week. I got 2 podcasts coming out this week. So one is a story and one is topical. What is the miracle? What are the miracles? I thought it was a great topic because there's a shit ton. I could talk for hours on that. Okay, I'm going to take a screenshot because, see, if you look here, see how this is coming up? And it should not be doing that. Boo restream. Yeah, you know what? Fuck them. They can figure it out themselves. I'm not going to work for them. They're like, we're going to give you 3 months free, and then you're going to have to re-sign up. In other words, what they did is they canceled my account so that they wouldn't be liable. I'm not stupid. Good morning, Leisure. I'm not stupid. Hey, who's liability reasons? And they didn't, and they knew I caught it. And they're like, oh, we'll give you 3 months free, but you know what that accounts to? $60. You know what? I'm worth more than $60 an hour, let alone $60 for 3 months. Anyway, it just, when that comes up, I mean, it's supposed to be working. So in AA meeting, Leisure, in AA meetings all over the world, statements like these are heard daily. It is plain for everybody to see that each sober AA member has been granted a release from this very obstinate and potentially fatal obsession. So in a very complete and literal way, all AAs have become entirely ready to have God remove the mania for alcohol from their lives. And God has proceeded to do exactly that. No, I'm not stupid. No. I think a lot of people are finding that out, honestly. They just thought I was crazy. But turns out Dion knew what he was talking about. Even NPR, everybody's talking about it now. I talked about this shit for 4 years. This is not new news. Did you hear about this? Yeah, I've been telling you for a long fucking time, but you just didn't want to hear it. Stupid fucking monkey. Anyway, all right. Silly monkeys. Silly monkeys. So here it is, having been granted a perfect release from alcoholism. Remember in the beginning, I talked about what this step is about. Is about perfection. What it's about. So, and how does it start? Well, it starts with a perfect release from the obsession from alcohol. And what did you do? Nothing. You asked with sincerity. You asked with some humility, which, gosh, took a long time, didn't it? See, I talk about that, but if we really think, is that really a free gift after all the suffering we went through with alcohol because we couldn't fucking leave it alone? You didn't have a choice. You didn't. I wasn't. I'll talk for me on this because I looked more into it, and there is no real scientific proof that we're born with this. I looked more into it. I don't know where I got that, but I believe I was born with it because when I look back, if I'm honest with myself, I can see I didn't even grow up in the same house. I was always defiant. Even while being nice, I was always defiant. I didn't need alcohol to be defiant. The alcohol just improved it. Improved my defiance. Because it takes away my inhibitions. Right? I get fucked up being arrested while I'm drunk. Actually, that's not true. But, just don't think of those consequences once it gets started. So, why then shouldn't we be able to achieve the same means of a perfect release from every other difficulty or defect? This is a riddle of our existence, the full answer to which may only be in the mind of God. Nevertheless, at least a part of the answer to it is apparent to us. Here it is. When men and women pour so much alcohol into themselves that they destroy their lives, they commit the most unnatural act. It's going to be hard, okay? This next part's hard because you're going to have your own opinions about it, and I do too. Defying their instinctive desire for self-preservation, they seem bent upon self-destruction. They work against their own deepest instinct. What is the deepest instinct? Survival. It works against the deepest instinct of wanting to live, of continuing to live. How many shows do we watch where people go through something arduous to live through? And we're like, oh, yay, look, they made it. See? They work against their own deepest instinct as they are humbled by the terrific beating administered by alcohol. The grace of God can enter and expel their obsession. Here, their powerful instinct to live can cooperate fully with their Creator's desire to give them new life. This is the part you're not going to like. For nature and God alike abhor suicide. But I didn't commit suicide. What do we just read? Well, let's just put it in layman's terms. We're committing suicide on the installment plan. See, we were putting alcohol in our bodies knowing it was killing us. That's suicide. And it goes against the natural instinct. Now, done by alcohol, it is not going to be. See, I've known a lot of recovered alcoholics, especially men, who get older in age, and because of their life and that they had to be dependent upon people all their life, are now dependent upon other people, and they cannot handle it, and they end their life. And I can see why. See, I've spent my whole life depending on other people. I don't want to be a burden anymore. I've been a burden all my fucking life. Right? But it's that alcohol. It's the alcohol. And the scary part is you don't know when. There's a lot of very ugly alcoholic deaths just waiting for you. I'm not going to cover them because I'm trying to keep things lighter around here. Yeah, right. Good luck on that, Dion. I can't do it. All right, but most of our other difficulties don't fall under such a category at all. Every normal person wants, for example, to eat, to reproduce, to be somebody in society of his fellows. And that is what we have been trying to achieve. It was, you know, for me, it was wanting to belong. It didn't have anything to do with the alcohol. So, and he wishes to be reasonably safe and secure as he tries to attain these things. Indeed, God made him that way. He did not design man to destroy himself by alcohol, but he did give man instincts to help him stay alive. It is nowhere evident, at least in this life, that our Creator expects us to fully eliminate our instinctual drives. So far as we know, it is nowhere on the record that God has completely removed any human being all of his natural drives. No, then they wouldn't be a human being anymore. Then why bother? Then why even bother? If you can't have free will, why bother? Now, was the drinking my own free will? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. No, I have no willpower against alcohol. That was not of my own free will. Now, here's the thing, since nobody can be an alcoholic, not everybody can be an alcoholic, but anybody can be an addict. You tell me whether you're born with it or not. I mean, it's direct evidence. Since most of us are born with an abundance of natural desires, isn't it strange that we often let these far exceed their intended purposes? Yeah. I didn't know how to use them. Nobody ever taught me. This was not something I was born with. My parents were not good examples when it came to showing love. Why? Because they didn't know how either. When they drive us blindly or willfully demand that they supply us with more satisfactions or pleasures than are possible or due to us, that is the point at which we depart from the degree of perfection that God wishes for us here on earth. That is the measure of our character defects, or if you wish, of our sins. If we ask, God will certainly forgive our derelictions, but in no case does he render us white as snow and keep us that way without our cooperation. There's a lot in that line, and you can take it a couple of different ways. You can say he never renders us white as snow ever, or you can keep reading and say and keep us that way without our cooperation. Are you white as snow? No. Are you striving for it? Fuck yeah, we are. See? And it's okay with us knowing we're not. Why is that? Because it's a day at a time program. I literally do not really book shit more than 2 days in advance. It just doesn't. People always write yesterday, twice. Yeah, give me some times and I'm like, no, you send me times and I will pick. Okay? Because you're working. I am not. I can move my time around. I can do that. Okay? Not only that, but I don't like sitting there doing times, and I just rather you pick one and I'll go with something. All right? Because you probably got a calendar and all that other shit. It's just easier that way. And so what am I doing? Well, I'm actually controlling the whole conversation by doing that in a sense. But what I'm doing is I'm giving them the power of choice. Now, once I've given them that power to give choices, what that does is it kind of brings them to my side. What I'm saying is you're kind of busy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold space for you. It works extremely well. So it's funny because a lot of times I do this stuff. I don't even realize I'm doing it until it's over with. I'm like, oh, fuck. That is something we are supposed to be willing to work towards ourselves. Let's repeat that whole thing. But in no case does he render us white as snow and keep us that way without our cooperation. That is something we are supposed to be willing to work towards ourselves. He asks only that we try as best we know how to make progress in the building of character. Okay? Everything I said was summed up in that paragraph. Knowing we're not going to. We know. That's okay. All right. I think it's probably good enough on step 6 for today. I'd probably read the whole thing. I really do need to get some work done. Not work, but whatever you call whatever it is that I do. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. Peace out and have a day.